We have arrived. Wait for all the people to come in.
And while we do that, I will actually work on the script.
I like my new nails a lot better.
I do too.
Yeah, thank you. I went to a different place and...
Is that acrylic or is it gel?
It's acrylic. It's just tips, and then they did I just like getting the dips because they last like a million years, and I'm too lazy to go all the time.
That dog better not be talking.
The dog's talking. Hi.
The Gates.
Hi. Welcome to the emo edition of Idiot's Guide to Horror, whoever you are.
We're emo now, and we always have been.
I was just going to say we're emo again.
Dana said,
emo again.
I can tell you guys were emo in high school. I said, yeah. It's cool now, though.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's really excited right now. It would have been cool if you guys were excited when we were 16 or 17.
Yeah, and Fall Out Boy is amazing.
Fall Out Boy is still amazing. No, I think that, like, I really do think that now people are, like, admitting that they were super into Fall Out Boy when they were, like, big. Anyway, we're going to talk about The Exorcist.
Maybe.
We're just... Come on in.
What would you give it? I said 4, but now I think 3.
Yeah, like, I would say, like, 3. That's good. Spoiler.
They don't know what we're talking about.
Maybe.
What if we were rating on a scale of 1 to 5? Like, how much we loved it? Also a 3. No, I'm kidding.
Well. Okay, so. How is everybody's week?
Yeah, it's almost Friday. Can you believe it? Then a weekend.
I'm going on a road trip.
I'm going to see Scream 5 by myself.
He has to because I can't be here.
No, we have to see it together, though, before it's out of theaters.
Oh, we will.
Mm.
No worries. I could see it a million times. I'd be fine.
Did you realize how much everybody smoked inside in the 60s? Or was it 70s?
So this was, I thought of you as soon as the doctor stepped outside and lit up a cigarette. I was going to wait until we were recording, but I was like, I was dying.
I'm sure.
I was dying. I was like, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so do you want to be Damien or the other?
Okay.
I gotta find him.
Are you sure it's Damien? Because my notes said Dimitri.
Well, his mom calls him Demi. Dim.
My notes refer to him only as Dimitri the entire time.
And so, like, when Elwood's making me really mad, I say, "Why you do this to me, Demi?" Elwood is my cat, and he doesn't know that I'm fucking with him all the time, but I am.
What did I like about the movie? This is the part we usually don't include in the live stream is...
We can make it up as we go, right?
Yeah, I'm sure we can.
Okay, so, like, truth-telling edition, put a finger down if Father Damien Karras is, like, kind of hot.
He looked like Sylvester Stallone.
There's something there. That's all I'm saying.
I wonder who's watching this.
I know. Who are you?
Who art thou?
Who are you?
Did I tell you guys I got a pop socket finally?
Oh.
It cost me $40 fucking.
Why 40? Oh, because it's got that. Oh, it's like removable.
It's MagSafe.
Right. Oh, well,
it wasn't the version we've never seen. There are 3 versions of this movie now that I cut out of the notes because I did not care at all about it. Did I cut it out of the notes?
First of all, Dan, hi. Welcome back. We missed you. We haven't talked to you for a while.
Yeah. How's Baltimore?
We watched the version that is on HBO Max, which is the theatrical version, I guess, because it doesn't have like the spider crawl down the stairs backwards.
This is flat.
That's horrific. Horror. I'm so sorry. But yeah, that's the hi. So yeah, I guess we should. Oh, I should probably open GarageBand and start. Hi, Mabel.
Okay, how emo am I right now?
You're doing a pretty good job. Yeah, I can put the hoodie back on, but I don't want to. Then you won't be able to see that, you know.
The demolition lovers in your shirt.
Yeah.
Let's talk about My Who Armies for a minute.
I would love to.
Favorite song is Demolition Lovers, only because you know what they do to.
You Know What They Do to Guys Like Us in Prison is the best song on that album, hands down.
However, on Black Parade, Sharp as Lies. No. This is how I disappear.
That's a good one. Dead is also.
Yeah. I have not listened to the album with Na 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 Na's. I did one time the whole way through, and I said, "This is not for me."
The Fabulous Killjoys.
Not for me.
I like.
There's one song I like on that album. Couldn't tell you what it is, but
Is it Vampire Money?
No, I could tell you if I looked at
it. So we are aging.
We're so emo.
We are aging emos.
Billy Talent, why aren't you going?
Maybe they weren't invited. Maybe they're in the same boat that
they couldn't get their visas. Do you need a visa to come over from Canada? No, because Silverstein's going to be there.
Silverstein is going to be there. Silverstein's Canadian?
Yeah.
Oh. Hey, what do I do?
Oh. I forgot that I was recording alone last week.
Yeah, we had to record alone last week, and now we're COVID safe. So.
Yeah, we're going to look at the camera like we promised.
Yep.
I said, why is she promising these things?
Because I think it's funny.
Good, because my GarageBand sucks. We almost had to cancel recording last week because my GarageBand would not work for like 45 minutes.
If you didn't show up for the live stream and then leave in the first like 15 minutes
because
I was having a meltdown, like a meltdown. Okay. So.
Is it Planetary Go? No.
It wasn't Sing, right? That's the worst song.
No, that sounds like a Dresden Dolls song. They also have a song called Sing that I liked.
I love Dresden Dolls.
Why aren't they going?
They're not technically emo. They're like.
Do you think 303 is emo?
No, I think no. We're not gonna.
Okay, hold on.
I already had this.
I'm gonna look at this real quick.
I don't like 303.
Okay. Avril Lavigne. Okay, fine. Royal and the Serpent is like a new artist.
I don't even know who they are.
She's a singer. She got some bops, but she's not of this era.
Listen.
I don't know. That's right.
What is first?
The horror pops are not emo.
No,
I would die for them.
I love it.
I was in a skank circle the size of Nevada at a horror pop show.
I love horror pops. I can't, and also Kitty's going to be there, and Kitty is like straight metal.
Where do you see Kitty on here? Is that? I thought it was Thrice.
Is it?
No,
it's Kitty.
Paris is not emo. Neck Deep is death metal, right?
I have no idea. If it's death metal, I don't know about it. I don't.
Ice Nine Kills is not emo. It's metal. Black Veil Brides. They're coming to Pittsburgh with Ice Nine Kills, and this 3 here, they're coming to Pittsburgh.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is $235 for one day where you get to see each of these bands play for like 30 minutes if you get to see them at all. And they're all still touring.
However, Armor for Sleep broke up.
I know.
And then I bought tickets to their What to Do When You're Dead 20th anniversary because I'm very old. And then it was canceled because of COVID. And then I called the Rex, and I'm like, please get my money back. And the Rex is like, we closed down.
Thank you for the Venom is an incredible song, Dan. Thank you.
The first 3 albums slap. Like, head first for Halos.
Oh, guys, My Chemical Romance is still good. I guess we're ready.
But let's talk about Taking Back Sunday.
We could talk about Taking Back Sunday. We could talk about
how Jesse Lacey was a bass player for Taking Back Sunday, and
then cut with the cute without the E, cut from the team is about him, which that's also a national anthem as well.
You pick any Taking Back Sunday song, and I will praise the Lord to it or whatever.
Also, Bright Eyes is not. I guess it's emo, but it's
Bright Eyes is not emo.
Bright Eyes is
it's like sad, weird poppy folk.
I already have tickets to see Bright Eyes this year.
The Used, no, not The Used. AFI's coming to Pittsburgh in March.
Oh, The Used is going.
I've only seen them live once, and they're my favorite band. You can't tell. Go back to my mom. I don't see my mom, but just explain my bedroom to anybody. It's just The Used posters. That one where they're all curve stomping each other. The one where Burt McCracken's falling forward.
I had an Avril Lavigne wall, like a wall just dedicated to Avril Lavigne.
My brother had one from Mitchell Musso. I hope he's not listening.
Okay. I guess we can record now, right?
Yeah, let's record.
Okay, so you're doing the hard part this week?
Yeah, I highlighted it.
Okay. All right. Y'all ready for this?
Do some tube socks? No. We have a bag full of tube socks.
Okay.
And that's how we're starting.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the Idiot's Guide to Horror.
Counteracting the toxic culture surrounding horror fandom and breaking down your favorite horror movies.
With you as always, your host, Kara Father Lancaster Marin Popovich.
Oh god, I didn't read first. And Christopher Father Damien Karras Haberin. So everybody turn off the lights, grab your crucifixes, holy water, and Bibles, and let's get ready to dissect movies.
It's The Exorcist. It was made in 1973. It's okay.
I'm doing my best.
Movie. We're here to talk movie.
One movie.
If not movie, then why not?
Then book.
So you can watch The Exorcist on HBO Max or Tubi TV right now, or if your parents were alive in the 70s, their nightmares, because
it's scary to them.
It's very scary to them.
And they might have it on Laserdisc still.
It was scary to us when we were kids.
Sure it was, but so was The Shining.
I still think The Shining is kind of scary.
The only thing scary about The Shining is Stanley Kubrick.
I don't know. I do think that there are parts of The Shining that are like kind of scary. I do like. There's like a little bit of like weird filler and stuff. But anyway.
Let me ask you guys a question at home. Okay. So the other day my boyfriend was sick, and so I asked him if he wanted some hot milk, and he said, first of all, gross. Second of all, he's lactose intolerant. Third, no. And I thought a really good ska band name was Hot Milk Explosion, but now it only sounds sexual to me. What do you think?
It does sound a little sexual.
Damn it. I didn't mean it to be sexual. I meant it like a ska band.
It does sound like, like the hot beef injection kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm still holding out for Dead Girl on the Loose. And if you don't have a list of ska band names in your phone, you're not doing it right.
I love that you keep a note.
I have notes for everything.
I need to start keeping notes instead of just being in my head all the time. So who did the back of the box last time?
I think whoever does the easy part does the back of the box. We both did one last time because we did a double feature. If you didn't listen to last week's episode, probably last week, I don't know, did we cancel? We did Double Blair Witch. Damn it. Damn it, hot milk.
We did do a Blair Witch double feature last week. This week we are once again covering movie. And I guess to set the scene for this one, I am jealous of people that were alive when this was
when people were dying,
fainting in the theater and unable to sleep and going insane because of The Exorcist.
The human centipede while eating.
Yeah. No, I think it's really I love that. I love that kind of phenomenon. I think that's fascinating. I think it's super cool.
What else did it happen with?
So it happened more recently. It happened with Raw.
Raw wasn't even scary.
It's not that it was scary, it's that it was disgusting.
It wasn't even disgusting.
I didn't think it was that disgusting. I was really like, anytime somebody's like, oh, people were fainting in the aisles, Hostel. People had to be like taken out in ambulances after Hostel.
Okay, well, I don't agree with that. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying I don't agree with it. Hostel I could see, but Raw was not gross. Ugh.
So good though.
Whenever she ate that finger like a hot dog.
Did that bother you?
It was great. It didn't bother me.
I loved it.
Martyrs was gross. Alive inside.
Yeah.
Raw was like, I can watch that while I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
That was kind of, now that I think about it, the hot dog part was gross.
Raw is hilarious and great. I almost chose it for this week, but I just don't think that people are interested in subtitles yet.
Guess what? I'm choosing it for next week.
I also almost chose Hostel, but then I saw that this was on HBO Max, and I was like, well, we can finally do it.
Because this movie is never streaming anywhere.
Well, actually, our friend Dan did point out to us before I chose it that it was on Tubi, but I don't know how many people use Tubi, even though you should.
Because it's free? I don't use it because the ads.
Yeah. But anyway, so for a back-of-the-box description, let's say it's 1973. You're going on a date with a guy whose pants are tighter than yours.
2007 all over again.
And that's the theme.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to go to the movies with him and see The Exorcist, or else he's going to take someone else. And you're like scared to see it because you're reading in the newspaper like the scariest thing you'll ever see in your life. I don't know how to do 1973. I wasn't alive. I should stop that. I should stop this, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to say that you also saw in the newspaper that this movie is about 12-year-old Reagan McNeil begins to adapt an explicit new personality as strange events befall the local area of Georgetown. Her mother becomes torn between science and superstition in a desperate bid to save her daughter, and ultimately turns to her last hope, Father Damien Karras, a troubled priest who is struggling with his own faith. So this was considered like the scariest movie of all time.
Even Ari, the guy who directed this said that Hereditary was the scariest movie of all time after it came out.
Yeah, William Friedkin. This is the only good thing he ever made. Sorry.
What else did he make? Nothing.
We're not going to do this right now. Last week you got upset because I didn't let you. Go ahead.
Spoiler warning. We're going to talk about this movie in depth, up to and including the end. Ends? To the ends. So you haven't seen this movie. You've had 50 years. I don't know how long. 40?
40.
You've had a great deal of time.
Almost 50, actually.
I just pull out numbers out of anywhere. I'm not here to do math.
1973.
Next
year will be the 50th anniversary of The Exorcist.
And we can all say we've all been there. Nope, I don't know. But we're going to talk about this movie. So if you haven't seen it and you would not like the ending spoiled, then pause this audio podcast. If you're watching it live, do not click away.
Go away.
If you click away, I almost threatened them. If you close this browser.
The thing with the ending of this movie is like
dumb.
Nobody ever like remembers how this movie actually ends. Nobody talks about what this movie actually is, and that's something that I was thinking about when watching it. Just in general, nobody talks about what this movie actually is. They talk about the possession scenes from The Exorcist.
Mm-hmm.
They don't talk about the fact that it is like, I would say like 85% drama.
Yeah, that's my biggest pet peeve about this movie.
Really?
It's 15% a horror movie.
And then when it's a horror movie, it goes hard. Like, it's not fucking around. I will give it that for sure. But like, there's so much meat behind those possession scenes, and Reagan is such a minor character in this.
It's a Damien Karras movie.
Yeah, it's about Father Damien.
Mm-hmm.
It's about Damien.
Do you think that Tara from Scream, the new Scream, would have enjoyed this because it's elevated?
I do think that she would have, yes. I do think that, and that was something I was thinking about as well, is that like this is an elevated horror movie, technically. Like if that's a real term, which it's not.
It's not.
It's not a real thing. Horror movies are horror movies.
Sorry.
But this is definitely like the sturdiest precursor to A24 horror that I can think of. Like,
how excited are we for X?
I'm very excited for X.
I watched a trailer, guys.
Chris watches trailers now.
I watched the one.
He watched one trailer.
My friend sent it to me and said, "Do we hate this?" And I watched it. I said, "No, we love it." And Tara's in it from Scream.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
I don't know her name, but maybe
Jenny Ortega. Jenna Ortega. Jenny or Jen Ortega. But yeah, it's definitely.
It's the most elevated horror movie you'll ever see.
It is. It's a whole lot of movie.
This is 5 Babadooks in one.
And it is like, it's kind of a similar concept too, I think. Like, yeah. I think that this definitely...
It has the same, like, no father, because he's in Rome.
Gallivanting, yeah.
Staying at the Four Seasons. And then coping with loss. Except, in this case, spoiler alert for the Babadook, go back and listen to our episode. The dad is not dead in this. He's just living his best life.
Right.
Child free.
Right. Well, I don't think that's a spoiler for the Babadook. I think that like they say it like right away. Yeah. But okay, let's get into some movie facts because we've got some facts.
We got too many. This movie is so old that
and it's so storied too. Like it's just like such an iconic movie that there's just a ton of buzz around it. So do you want to do the first one or do you want me to?
I would love to. What is it? Peter William Bailey? William Peter Blatty's novel is based on the real-life 1949 exorcism of a young boy known by the pseudonym Roland Doe.
Roland Doe.
That's a great name. You know, like if you were a baker's son, your name would be Roland Doe.
I love that so much. I wish that they were all like that instead of like John Doe.
True.
Yeah. So the police in DC threatened to arrest anyone who sold a ticket to this movie to a non-adult. There was a lot of controversy about the movie being rated R instead of X. Apparently the movie was filmed in DC, so the kids wanted to go.
So I want you all to know something. The movie facts we usually just like off the internet. I merge these all into as few as possible, so they're all dumber than usual.
That one was pretty interesting. I think, especially like considering the fact that like now by today's standards, this is nothing. This is
Tame.
Child's play, but not
child's play.
Yeah, this is like a kiddie coaster. This is nothing. Which we'll get to this when we get to like the actual like meat of the movie. But like I was so surprised by how not scared I was.
We'll get to it. Because like I was prepared last night when I watched this at 8 p.m. and I'm like, okay, here she goes. And I watched this like 5 years ago and I was like, good movie.
Yeah.
But
this will be fun. Like if you're watching the live stream, in the comments, tell us about the first time you ever watched The Exorcist. Because I feel like everybody has a story. Like I saw it at a sleepover and then I cried and threw up and asked for
it on a movie theater.
I had to ask for somebody to call my mom and it blew our cover because we weren't supposed to be watching The Exorcist. So it blew our cover because they were like, why is Kara having an anxiety attack? And everybody was like,
well, this movie may not be scary. It is wildly inappropriate for children.
Yeah. I was 13.
Okay, you still didn't see anybody use a crucifix for anything like that.
Oh yeah, I'm fucked. I will say that is like raunchy.
Yeah. Fuck me. Raunchy. Fuck me.
It just sounds like me in traffic. Anyway.
Okay. The movie was released on VHS in 1981. The Video Recordings Act of 1984 led the movie being pulled from shelves due to Reagan being a 12-year-old girl and how that would attract other 12-year-old girls to see this movie by themselves or something. It was finally re-released in 1999 for home viewers. It's been released 3 times now with different cuts, which I cut out of this because this movie effect was too long.
Is that in the UK? Because the Video Recordings Act of 1984, that's video nasties.
You have better access, cracked.com or whatever.
Yeah, that's they're talking about video nasties. That's like the censor era.
We just watched. No, we didn't cover that movie at all.
I want to.
You wait till your turn.
I know. You have one lined up, I'm sure, but
I don't. I'll think of something right now.
So Mercedes McCambridge provided the voice for Reagan's demon form. Apparently, Orson Welles called her the world's greatest living radio actress. She went uncredited originally on the film, maybe by her choice. I'm getting conflicting data, but then sued to have her name added to the credits. Also, when recording the voice for Pazuzu, she was literally bound to a chair by her arms, legs, ankles, and wrists.
Do I not have what she did? Oh no, that's next.
I do love the voice, and I do like there is something really funny to me about like when Reagan is like laying there like all tied up and she's just like casually like a little cute 12-year-old girl and her demon voice is just like, what a lovely day for an exorcist. Like, I love it. That's funny as fuck. I don't think it was intended to be funny,
no,
but it's so funny. When demon voices come out of children, it's good for me. I enjoy that. Do you want to do the next one?
Speaking of Mercedes McCambridge, oh god, I'm funny, aren't I? Did you know that she believed the best way for the demon voice was to stay on a diet of cigarettes, whiskey, and raw eggs? She was also in recovery and relapsed to do this because she needed the whiskey to do the voice.
No, you don't.
Tell her that.
Tom Waits can. Well, Tom Waits can tell her that.
Tom Waits is a god.
Tom Waits used to, so that was like the whole thing was that everybody was like, oh, it's the cigarettes and like whiskey that like makes him sound like that.
Why isn't Tom Waits at Emo Fest?
Why isn't Tom Waits my best friend?
You know I had a cat named Tom Waits once.
Really? Listen, half the reason that I was obsessed with going to New Orleans was because of Tom Waits' song, I Wish I Had Been in New Orleans in the 1920s. And every time I've ever been to the Absinthe Bar, I'm like, he was here.
You know, there's a meme out there that doesn't matter. It's a picture of Tom Waits and Jeremy Irons, and it's Jeremy Irons ironing, and Tom Waits is doing like this. And it says Tom Waits while Jeremy Irons.
I like that. That's good. So this is the first fucking horror film to be nominated for a fucking Oscar.
I was doing this at work, guys.
There have only ever been 6 horror films nominated: The Exorcist, Jaws, The Silence of the Lambs, The Sixth Sense, Black Swan, and Get Out. Is The Silence of the Lambs a horror movie?
Thriller.
Okay, fair. Yeah, okay.
Even though there's not much thrilling happening because nothing really happens till the end, because Hannibal Lecter is locked up the whole time and Buffalo Bill is not really doing much. I mean, sure, the opening scene with the Tom Petty song that I can't listen to it in the car, American Girl, I'm gonna get murdered.
Listen, we have to enjoy Silence of the Lambs because we're from Pittsburgh.
Of course.
It's like we have to like it, just like, you know, we have to like Inspector Gadget.
What do you mean?
You don't know that the live action Inspector Gadget was made here?
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it. Bye, guys.
I was making a joke because, you know, that's obviously not the second most famous movie that's ever been filmed here. Like
Fargo.
No, I think I'm gonna barf.
Now, is that a horror movie?
Fargo?
Yeah.
No.
It's a true crime. Crime.
Yeah. It's
Cohen's.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's
amazing. I would die for Steve Buscemi.
I would, yes. I also would die. And for Frances McDormand. I would lay my life on the line for Frances McDormand.
Sorry, Clive Barker. I don't know why.
Anyway, do you want to read the next one?
Oh, God. We got the silly willies tonight, guys.
Yes, Fargo is a black comedy. Thank you. Yes. Also, we did get one story of the first time seeing The Exorcist. I think the first time I saw it was the re-release. It was scary at the time, but I hadn't seen a ton of horror by then. Totally fair. The first re-release was in like 1999 No, it was in 2009. Not 2009. 2000. 2000. That was when they did that was when he put the spider crawl down this back. Is that in the? I don't want to spoil it if that's a fact.
Oh, who knows? Who can remember?
Okay, well, we'll just have to cross it out. But that was when William Friedkin decided to put in the scene that he had filmed of her spider crawling down the stairs backwards, because he didn't leave it in the original cut because it looked stupid because there were wires. And then when CGI existed, he was like, I can get rid of those wires, and he put it back in the movie. But now what is most widely available is the theatrical cut anyway. It's fine. It just doesn't have the spider walk in it.
I really enjoyed. Yeah. However, oh yeah, remember that face?
Yeah.
I think I do have it in the notes. Okay, this movie was cursed. I meant to look up more cursed movies. Damn it. Filming took place in the U.S. What? Who writes these things?
Filming in the U.S. took place in both.
Oh, filming in the U.S. took place in both New York City and Washington D.C. After a number of eerie incidents, the New York City set, including a studio fire that forced them to rebuild sets of the interior house, Blatty and Friedkin regularly brought in a priest, Father King, to bless the cast crew. Can you imagine? I would just walk right out there. And set when production moved to DC. By the end of the film's production, 9 people associated with the making had passed away. The mysterious fire that took place in the New York set burned every room in the house except for Reagan's.
So if you are interested in learning more about this movie being cursed and other cursed films, Shudder has a really great documentary series about cursed films, and it's called Cursed Films.
Oh, easy to remember.
Yeah. And they do go into detail about the set of The Exorcist and all the things that happened. And while I don't necessarily believe that the set was actually cursed, I do think that some fucked up things took place. Like the scene where Reagan is like on the bed and her.
In the notes.
Oh, it's in the notes? Okay, I'm going to shut up then. Okay. Paul Bateson, a real-life X-ray technician, played the role of the radiologist assistant in the scene where Reagan is having a carotid angiography.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was fucked.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He was arrested for homicide in 1979 after meeting film critic Addison Barrell, having sex with him, and proceeding to bash his skull in with a skillet. Bateson's...
Oh, trigger warning. Here comes a real-life murder.
A real-life murder. Authorities suspected... Bateson boasted about killing other men while awaiting trial, claiming that he did it for fun and dumped their bodies in the Hudson River. Authorities suspected him of being a serial killer that had been targeting gay men in the years of 1977 to 1978 and wrapping their chopped remains in plastic bags. These were known as the bag murders. It was really original.
Really original.
Yeah. Though they had a confession, they couldn't link any evidence to his claim. So he was sentenced to 20 years for the murder of Addison Barrell, and Bateson became a free man in 2004. Thank God.
And he's standing right behind you.
Cecil.
Oh, I don't know why I put that in, but it's past. We're now a true crime podcast, everybody.
I mean, we got a little bit of true crime in there for you. That would be like a fun, little mini-sode. Talk
we
about
could become the radiologist. Next true crime garage.
Yeah, they do talk about that on Cursed Films as well, I think.
Oh, well, I should have watched that instead of Google. Director William Friedkin actually took deliberate measures to, fuck with the cast.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to use actual fear. He went as far as firing guns without warning behind the actors to frighten them. He slapped Father O'Malley across the face to catch footage of his shocked reaction. He also put Ellen Bernstein and Linda Blair in harnesses and had them shook and yanked violently, leading on to the next one where they also got,
Yes, which I will read. Linda Blair was injured on set while filming one of the possession scenes when a piece of the rigging broke. So that scene where she's on the bed and she's flailing, sitting up and down really fast, and she's screaming, "Make it stop." That was real. She was really in pain. She really fractured her back. And William Friedkin kept rolling. And also when
I go to hell, I will beat him up too.
Yes. He's still alive.
I know, but remember that meme you tagged me the other day?
Oh yes. Yeah.
About beating up Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, the one with all the hits.
Thanks, Mother. Top of the morning.
So, there's still more here to read. Sorry. During the scene where Reagan uses brain power to throw her to the ground, the cable pulled Ellen too hard and gave her a permanent spine damage. Also, they kept Reagan's room between 30 and 40 degrees below zero. So that wasn't like movie magic when you see people's breath. That was...
I just read the next
legit
effing note.
Do you want to read this out loud, or do you want me to do a dramatic reading of it?
Can you do it? Go ahead.
Subliminal messaging in the film? The bees. The face. Maybe other things. Chris, remember to look up other things.
Damn it. I forgot.
I love it. All right.
Well, the bees, Friedkin, what's that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Put a soundtrack of buzzing bees to induce like an unknown fear in you in the opening of the movie.
Oh, okay.
And then the face,
Captain Howdy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Captain Howdy kind of shows up every once in a while. Captain Howdy has like a really memeable face, and
it's like a Babadook.
Yeah, I don't know why we don't see more of Captain Howdy on the internet.
Yeah.
Let's make that happen.
Everybody, tonight, meme your favorite Captain Howdy.
Your favorite Captain Howdy. Your homework for tonight is to create a meme for Captain Howdy. So we're gonna walk through The Exorcist. I don't really know if there's like a trigger warning here. I think that, like everybody knows what they're getting into when they talk about this movie. If you're offended by
anything, religion,
I don't think that anything is like, I don't know.
This movie was backed by the Catholic Church.
Well, it shows the actual process of exorcism and how hard it actually is to get the process going.
And when Dimitri, whatever his name is, when Dimitri goes to the guy to ask him to perform an exorcism, if he's allowed to, that was an actual bishop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that they had on set. There also Melanie Markle, whatever her name was, the one who did the voice.
Mercedes.
Yeah, Merriweather. She had two priests with her while she was day drinking and eating eggs because she was afraid.
I mean,
so afterwards, that bishop who was in this movie preached about this movie.
Yeah.
At church.
Yeah.
It was like a backed thing.
So, like, first of all, I do want to say that, like, I know that, like, people that were, alive for the actual hysteria of this movie still considered this to be very scary. I'll do my best not to re-traumatize you.
Oh, I'm coming. You're gonna. Because I know
every time, like, when my mom hears tubular bells, she looks like she wants to, like, dive under the covers and like hide forever.
It's my ringtone. No, my ringtone's a Sailor Moon opening theme song.
Oh, I like that. I might make my ringtone tubular bells.
No.
That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to have it like on one of my old phones when it was like, because it's not that easy to set your ringtone on an iPhone.
I couldn't tell you how I did it.
But when I used to have Android phones when I was younger, I would set my ringtone to tubular bells for when work would call me. So, all right, The Exorcist. This movie is not, like I said at the top, this movie is not what people talk about it to be. And I'm going to try to condense it as much as possible.
It's long.
It's very dense. It's extremely dense. There is a lot of information in this movie and like this much actual possession content.
Yeah, the possession is like 20 minutes of this 2 and a 1 hour minute movie.
Yeah, and the rest is just about Father Damien Karras.
Mm-hmm.
So the movie opens up with Lancaster Marin.
Old.
He is in Iraq on an archaeological dig. And basically, like, an artifact is found there. We don't really, like, we're not given a lot of information as to what it is, except that, like, he sees, like, a sculpture that resembles a demon named Pazuzu. And he apparently has previous experience. That's what we're like led to believe, is that he has previous experience with Pazuzu, and he's like, not this bitch again. And so
did you see the penis on that thing?
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, big old boner. Yeah. So that's basically the opening of the movie. It's long. It's a long opening. It takes a little. It rambles a little bit. It takes a minute to get to the point.
We could have cut some meat out of that.
But in Georgetown, there is a woman played by Ellen Burstyn. Her name is Chris, and so is this person right here.
Well, I play a woman named Ellen.
Yes.
So that's how we're different.
So she's starring in a movie, and it's currently being filmed. She has a 12-year-old daughter named Reagan, Linda Blair,
who comes to Pittsburgh once or twice a month.
I love her.
Yeah.
And she's like, she runs a dog rescue now. Nothing cuter, man, than Linda Blair.
Did she do any of the sequels?
Yes.
I didn't watch any of the sequels.
Yeah, she did The Heretic. It's the second one. It's on HBO Max. You can watch it.
If it's more than 90 minutes, I can't do it.
It is not, and it's an actual horror movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and the third one is actually, I think that the third one is really wonderful.
I hear that a lot. I saw one of them in theaters, so it must have been like, what, 2005, 6, 7?
Oh, that was like the newer one, right?
I can't remember what we did last week.
Huh.
Okay.
So,
I'm not watching the second one
then. Oh, okay. Hi, Cecil. I've just been distracted by a cat. Chris, take over for me.
So, Mom's there. She's walking home. We hear the Exorcist music.
I can't do tubular bells.
Do you know what else that music was in? I don't know how they got the rights for it. It was the movie Saved, starring Mandy Moore, Macaulay Culkin, Jenna Malone.
And that's when she's walking home, and then they come up to her with the van, and yeah. Oh God.
I don't know how they got the rights.
I don't know. Saved is such a good movie. What? Okay.
So, Mom's home, and she's talking to the help, whose name I did not get. It's like a babysitter who's there with Reagan, who I want to call Regan because it's spelled Regan. But maybe you don't spell Reagan. Maybe you spell it Regan.
Maybe, I mean,
I don't know. Like, how was Ronald Reagan's name spelled?
Reagan.
So yeah, I think Regan's name might be Regan. She saw a horse today at the park.
She did see a horse.
Oh God, that horse! Mom, why can't we get a horse? Mom is smoking in the kitchen, right? Regan steals a snack and pays dearly for it because Chris McNeil tackles her to the ground.
Yeah, dude, like that babysitter is serious fucking business, man.
Okay. Oh yeah, okay. So that was the whole Reagan opening. Now we're just gonna follow this priest around who's also smoking next to his infirmed mother, who I wrote down informed. But I know I meant infirmed.
So she doesn't want to leave her house.
Why would she?
She's getting too old to like live alone. And he is very clearly, he doesn't know what to do. When Chris passed him earlier, like she saw him like giving, like counseling another priest on like his crisis of faith. And so he's not like losing his way as far as Catholicism goes, but he is not doing well mentally or emotionally at this point in his life because he has this mother to take care of and he doesn't want to anymore.
Oh, God, how sad is that?
It's very sad. This entire story is really sad.
Nothing happy happens in the entire movie?
No, not once. You know, they party and then somebody pees. That's
I mean, I guess that's fun.
It's pretty fun.
Why would she, like, that whole house was full of priests at that party?
I know.
The priest party. And they're all smoking.
Well, it's by Georgetown University, which I guess is a seminary, right? So, like, also, Father Damien is a psychiatrist, which all of the other priests tend to ostracize him for.
Because you have to pick one in this world.
Right.
Science or faith. You cannot pick both.
Right.
Ask these doctors.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking hate every doctor in this movie.
I hate every doctor in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I hate all of the doctors in this movie.
ADAB.
But anyway.
Ooh, let me get the Ouija board. Oh, we're gonna do the Ouija board, yeah.
We're not at the Ouija board yet. We can, like, I think
we're at
that
the
we
Ouija
should, like,
board now.
Yeah,
this movie's too long. Too much happening in it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Reagan's in the basement. It's a really nice 70s basement, like a pool table probably.
It is like it's a nice finished like game room.
Yeah, like paneled wall. Just go back in time, guys, and enjoy this basement. So Reagan's down there playing with a Ouija board by herself. Kara, do you want to go get my Ouija board out of the closet and play with it?
No.
Oh, why?
I'm scared of them. So like, if I'm being honest.
Comment a 1 down below if you want Kara to play with the Ouija board.
I don't want a spirit too attached to me tonight. Listen, if I'm going to get possessed, if somebody's going to take over my body and live my life for me, great.
I hope it's Tom Waits.
Great. Yeah, I hope it's, oh my God, if it was Tom Waits, I'd be the happiest woman.
I was going to take Jeff Goldblum.
But like, I'm okay with getting possessed, but I don't want to be fucking haunted. Like, if I have to be alive, like, at least, like, I'd like to, like, sleep and, like, not have my stuff moved around. I like my stuff where it is. But possession, okay.
So, like, remember the album What to Do When You're Dead by Armor for Sleep?
Yes.
Remember, okay, with the original CD came with a booklet called What to Do When You're Dead. I can't find it anywhere.
You're haunted.
I need it. Because it tells me what to do when I'm... Yeah. I want to be a passenger like Dexter.
Yeah.
Do you read the books? The Dexter books?
No, I only read the first one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But anyway.
I don't know what we're talking about.
We were talking about the Ouija board part in the movie that we're speaking of.
Girl, that planchette.
Yeah, so Reagan breaks out a Ouija board. They start to play with it, and then the planchette just like shoots away from both of their hands. That's the first freaky thing that happens. Meanwhile, Father Damien puts his mother in what he thinks is a nursing home, but turns out to be a hospital for the criminally insane. And she dies there. But before she dies, she does this whole thing where she's like, why you do this to me, Demi? And he's like, I'm going to take you home. And she's like, no. And then, yeah, she dies there. So he's not doing well. He's drinking a lot. He is like barely functional. He is just rife with guilt. And that is the setup for Father Damien.
Because he goes to hang out with another priest at the bar.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm out. I'm having a conflict of faith. Is that what he says?
Yeah. So he wasn't having a crisis of faith before. Now he's having a crisis of faith because his actions inadvertently led to the death of his mother, who probably would have died anyway. She was very sick and very old.
Reagan's birthday comes around. Daddy does not call. It's like Austin Powers.
Chris is being... She's on the phone and she's like...
Oh, I thought you meant me. I'm like,
no.
I'm very prompt, thank you. Put that on your resume. Very prompt.
Yes.
Yeah, but she's not having it. She's like calling Rome because she can afford that long distance.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't seen her house, it is bigger than my house.
Okay, the house from The Exorcist is my dream home. Can we talk about it? Can we just touch on it for a minute?
No.
It's my fucking dream house.
The attic is too cluttered. It's too cluttered. What's going on in that attic?
Those stairs are sexual. I
would crab walk down them backwards.
I like the way that houses were designed in the 70s. Not necessarily like me being me, I probably would like put 70s decor in these houses as well.
Right.
But like the bones of these houses, the way that they're structured, oh my God, y'all. I love it. Love it.
Kara geeks out
a
house.
Anyway, Reagan calls the person that she's been communicating on the Ouija board with Captain Howdy.
I'm gonna fit this one out. Yeah, Captain Howdy.
And that's important.
Yeah.
That's why I was calling that thing Captain Howdy before, if you aren't already aware.
So Mom wakes up with Reagan in her bed one of these nights.
Yeah.
Like she wakes up, rolls over, and she's like, "Who's this bitch in my bed?" Oh, it's my 12-year-old daughter. That makes sense. She lives here. And she's like, "Why are you in here?" And the bed is shaking and she can't get to sleep.
Right.
Creepy.
Yeah, my bed is shaking.
Mm-hmm. So for some reason, Mom heads up into the attic. The lights won't turn on. So she takes a candle, like a plain old candle, because we don't have flashlights. It's the 70s. They were not invented yet. And and she gets up to the attic. She crawls. It's like a hereditary attic where there's a ladder.
Right.
You know, the ladder. She crawls up one-handed with a candle in the most gorgeous nightgown.
Beautiful. Ellen Burstyn in this movie is just like, just madam. Go, go, go. Anyway.
So she's up in the attic. Here is the part that pisses me off. Not the smoking in the hospitals. Not smoking around your dead baby. Whatever. Possessed. However, her attic is so cluttered. She cannot take one step in any direction without like cursing, because she curses more than anybody I've ever met in my entire life.
She does.
She's bumping into this clothes rack and this mouse trap. And then she turns around and the candle bursts into flames.
And the caretaker of the house is there.
Yes.
His name is Carl.
Very Austrian, probably with a K.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And what do they argue about? They argue about something. Okay. I can't remember. They argue about something, but anyway.
I just said there's Carl. Okay, what's going on with the statue of the mutilated Virgin Mary?
Just like,
is it ever explained?
No, there's stuff in this movie that I think is just like set pieces and stuff like that. That's right. That is right. Dan has just reminded us that they argue about the rats. Chris is saying that there are rats in the walls and in the attic, and she heard them, and he's like, there are no rats. Like,
no, there's never been rats.
There's never been rats. Myth. And she's like, I have decided that there are rats in this house.
I'm the one to side with her.
Are you?
Well, she has that big, angry, flaming candle. And Carl has no weapon.
So, anyway, Reagan, Chris has a party. She has a party.
Priest party.
Oh, wait, actually, before the party. Is it before the party?
Well, which one?
No, okay.
No,
so,
because
okay.
the party is the indicator of things yet to happen.
Yeah, so there's...
Who the hell is dying?
They're coming for us.
I live next door to an ambulatory center and a train track, so the rent's too high. Like that guy said.
The rent's too damn high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Chris throws a party. I don't know.
This is so confusing. I keep thinking you're talking about me.
I don't know who. Okay, so Ellen Burstyn hosts a party.
I never throw parties.
No,
I'm
you
only
didn't.
invited to parties.
Ellen Burstyn throws a party, and she invites a bunch of priests.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that. Maybe just because they're in Georgetown. It's a seminary school. She's made friends with priests while there.
Who is this man assaulting the butler?
Good question. I don't know. That's the director. That's Burke.
Dorfman? Nope.
No. Burke Dennings. Right, yeah. That's the director of the movie that she's in.
He does not like Carl.
No.
He does not like Germany. He doesn't like Nazis.
Yeah. But they're all, it's an iconic scene. They're all like laughing and singing around the piano. And then Reagan comes downstairs and she's like, Mom. And then like everybody looks up and she's just peeing.
Mm-hmm.
Peeing straight onto the carpet.
And she says, what'd she say to him? What'd she say?
You're all going to die up there.
And that's not true.
No.
Only some of them are going to die up there.
Only some.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody that's there either.
Yeah, that one guy. Mom's boyfriend. Byron? Bert?
He dies up there?
Well, she shoves him out the window.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I guess he died down there. So yeah. You're right. Nobody died. One person dies up there.
So she pees on the floor, and then later that night, Ellen Burstyn goes into her room to check on her.
Mm-hmm.
I almost said Chris, and then I was looking at you, and I was like, he's going to be confused.
I was up there with them. And I'm trying to hold Reagan down because her bed is bouncing.
Yeah, Reagan's bed is like shaking and levitating and like going bananas. So Chris is like, enough, like I'm taking her to the doctors. And so she takes her to the hospital, and they do a bunch of like, so MRIs didn't used to be so easy.
Oh God, that was so annoying. Like, how would you lay there for that?
I don't know.
It was like a,
yeah,
but not like a sex noise like I just made. Burke.
So what if Burke was right and this whole thing was a big Nazi magic ceremony gone wrong? That's a good theory. Dan. But oh yeah, right, the hospital.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're
doctors smoking
while saying there's nothing wrong with your daughter after they're doing their super invasive MRI procedures.
They stick a nick in her. What's a nick?
Stick a nick in her needle.
They stick a nick right in her needle. In her carotid artery.
Yeah, and then they stick a needle in her carotid artery, and blood's like spurting out like a geyser, and then they're like, they're taking,
faking it.
Yeah, they're taking photos of her brain. They're like, well, there's no lesions, there's no tumors, there's nothing here. Like, your daughter has mental illness issues. That's what's going on.
But they don't want her to go to a psychiatrist.
Yeah, they don't want her to go to a psychiatrist because
there has to be something physically wrong with her, because mental illnesses are not a thing in the 70s.
Or even today. But
I'm heavily medicated, thank you.
Yeah, so they think that she should have an exorcism.
Well, because first, there's no drugs in the house, and I swore to that, meaning Chris McNeil. There's some point where she's at home and Reagan's throwing that head around like an owl, and fuck me.
Yeah. So they say that the reason that they say that they want her to get an exorcism is not because they believe that she's actually possessed by a demon, but because they think that she thinks she's possessed by a demon. And they think that the exorcism will have like a placebo effect.
Speaking of placebo, they're coming out with a new album in March.
Oh, well. Quelle surprise. So because of this, Ellen Burstyn arranges a meeting with Father Damien, and she asks Father Damien if he's ever heard of exorcisms or if he's known of any exorcisms, and he's like, yeah, in the 1600s, and then he high fives himself. Does a little shuffle. Yeah.
He shuffles right off to Buffalo.
Yeah. But she's not amused because she's like, my daughter needs an exorcism. Like, just come meet her.
Using the cross.
Yeah, just come meet her. And so he agrees to speak to Reagan, and then when he gets there, he tries to like he's skeptical. So
trying to like trick her.
Yeah. But she somehow knows about his mother. And he.
But whenever he asks what his mother's maiden name is, she does not answer.
She just stares at him.
And then vomits on him.
Yeah. She's also like, she is using her demon voice at this point. She no longer has a cute little kid voice. She doesn't look like a cute little kid anymore. Her face is all cracked. She now has the voice
of someone who's been eating raw eggs and whiskey. It's smoked a pack cigarettes. Of Luckies.
Yeah. It just sounds like they just went into like a bar on like a dive bar in like McKeesport on a
yeah. This sorry in advance. This could have been played by anybody from McKeesport. Which is a suburb out here, y'all.
Kind of a suburb. I don't know. It might be the seventh circle of hell, but
if you really need crystal meth, that's where you should probably look. That's all I'm saying.
Anyway, that's how Reagan's talking.
Meth head.
And she's messing with him.
She's opening drawers. She's speaking in Greek. Nope. Latin.
No, she didn't speak. She didn't open the drawer yet because he leaves. Because he's like kind of messing with her, and he's like, "How many people are in there with you, Reagan? And where's Reagan?" And they're like, "She's in here with the rest of us," which like that line fucked me up. I did not like that. I didn't like that. That scares me. I don't enjoy that. Yeah, so he leaves.
This is when Reagan says, "What a wonderful day for an exorcism."
Excellent. When he returns is when she starts speaking in backward languages. Like he thinks that it's Latin or tongues, but it turns out like he takes it to like an audiologist, and the audiologist is like,
"Girl, this is English."
Yeah, this is English backwards, and they're saying like, "I am no one."
Kill the priest. I don't remember.
Kill the priest. Yeah, kill the girl.
I was really busy during this part of the movie. I was applying for so many jobs.
So then he goes back. Just like one last time. And he gets out. Yeah, that's when like he comes in. Yeah, she comes in, and he comes in, and she's like, "A wonderful day for an exorcism," and I love it. I think that she also did a really good job of lip syncing.
Yeah, I don't. You know, her mother loved the script.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Linda Blair's mother.
So she confides in Damien and Father Damien that it was actually Reagan that murdered Burke Dennings, because Burke Dennings died outside of the house the night of the party. She threw him out the window.
Down the steps.
Yeah. So
Dimitri, wait.
He throws holy water. He gets out holy water, and she's like, "What's that?" I love that she's like, "What's that?" Giving like the side eye. Just like, so he starts like putting the holy water on her, and she has a strong reaction to it. But she says something about his mother again, right? Your mother? No, it's not until the exorcism when she says that your mother sucks cocks in hell line.
She might say that right now. I can't remember.
I don't think so. She's just like, that's when she's like speaking in tongues and stuff. Then at one point, the babysitter lets Damien into the room, and like Reagan's asleep, and she like gently undoes like her pajama top, and
he says like, "Help me."
Yeah, Reagan is trying to carve "help me" from the inside of her stomach, which is also scary. It is scary and it's sad. Yeah, like that's.
I think this is when Father Damien goes to church to ask if he's allowed to do an exorcism, because apparently you need permission to do it.
You do. You need permission from the Vatican to perform an exorcism.
And this guy got it immediately?
Yeah, they kind of show some of like the bureaucracy, which I think is really interesting, because a lot of possession movies like don't like let people know this. The Conjuring, for all of its faults, like actually does like talk about this, about the fact that you need permission from the Vatican to perform an exorcism. But it does sort of shows like some of the bureaucracy within, like he's in the diocese, and he's like, here's what's going on, and they ask him if he has any skepticism, and he's like, yes, absolutely, I'm very skeptical, but like what I have seen is enough evidence to like, you know, like prove that we need one here.
So that church guy prescribes him a bonus priest.
Yes, he's like, you'll need another priest, because, you know, it's good to have a psychiatrist there, which they always refer to him as a psychiatrist. They never refer to him as like a priest or a pastor or anything. They're just like, you can go because you're a psychiatrist.
Yeah. And they always bring one of those in every exorcism movie. Not everyone. A bunch of them.
Right. But the priest that they are prescribing, as you said, to bring with him, for him to go with, is none other than Lancaster Marin, the guy from the beginning of the movie who had been forewarned that he was going to have to fight Pazuzu again.
And what are the odds?
And what are the odds, indeed?
Father Marin does like all the work.
Yeah.
I must have worked himself to death. I stopped myself.
You just did it.
I did that part of the podcast.
So then we get to the actual exorcism.
Okay, now here's where I have all my questions because I don't know anything about Catholics.
Okay.
So Reagan has a very long tongue.
Yeah.
Your mother sucks cocks in hell. So
yeah.
This time, Father Merlin, with my phone, my laptop.
Made him Merlin.
Okay, so I type watching a movie on my iPad. My iPad autocorrects everything I type, which is how I can type extra fast. However, it sometimes doesn't understand. Like if I type in the Christ, it pops up my whole email address. Because my email address is my name. And every time I typed in Merwin,
Merlin.
Came out Merlin. But this time, Father Marilyn, Father Marilyn has holy water, real holy water.
We also, sorry, before we get to this, we forgot to talk about the fact that Reagan had previously been masturbating with a crucifix, like stabbing herself in the vagina with a crucifix.
Trigger warning.
Yes, and then also forces her mother's head down to her crotch and says, "Lick me."
Lick me.
Yeah. So that's just to get a sense of where the demon that is possessing Reagan is at. It's on some bullshit. Mm-hmm. It is on some raunchy, vulgar, nasty bullshit.
Do you think most demons are though?
Probably, yeah. But they start their rites, they start reading the rites, and
they do their call and response thing.
Yeah, they do their call and response thing, and Reagan is freaking out and screaming your mother sucks cocks in hell.
And now she's levitating and spitting.
Which now I don't know.
I've said it 4 times today.
I feel like every guy I went to middle school and high school with was that's the line. That's the one. I'm going to latch onto this for the rest of my life and make this my only thing.
Yeah, that's their entire range of comedy.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Yeah. They're the kinds that still think Facebook memes are really top-notch gold star comedy.
And that's okay if you do. Welcome. So here's what I want to know. So Reagan's cursing, she's levitating, she's spitting, her mother says cocks in hell. The bed goes off the ground, way off the ground. Mm-hmm. Damien is shook. Damien is not doing well. So Reagan has a very long tongue out now, like Gene Simmons long.
Yeah, doing that whole thing.
There's a slur coming up. Shut up your ass.
Oh, well, she pukes on it. So he uses
his scarf. Where did he get that scarf from?
So it's when people, okay, how do I put this? When people at graduations, at high school graduations, they have the sashes mm-hmm. that denote they were in the honor society or what the fuck mm-hmm. ever. That's what he has kind of. He has a sash and he presses it to Reagan's forehead and they think that they're done because Reagan pukes out a bunch of green shit mm-hmm. and then falls asleep for about 5 seconds.
Barely.
Yeah. And they're whew, exorcism complete, but it's not complete.
No, it's just starting.
It's just gonna keep going. So she starts she gets back up. She's that's when her head.
Yeah, her head spins the whole way around this time. Because earlier her head spun around, but only one time. Only an owl, 180 degrees.
I will say that, okay, I was going to wait until later to point this out. The effects in this movie, they're pretty outdated. Mm-hmm. Not that scary anymore. But when she spins her head the whole way around.
It's good.
I don't want that in my life. I don't want to see that happen. And I personally think, since I don't know what that looks like in real life, looks realistic enough to me.
I was going to do it for you later tonight to show you what it looks like in real life, but I guess I won't.
well, I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. If you want to show me your head spinning the whole way around.
One time I was dating this guy, and I'm easily scared, you know?
Yeah.
So I was brushing my teeth, and he was hiding in the shower. And then I'm brushing my teeth, like doing my thing, listening to Brand New, whatever I was doing back then, which is like 3 years ago. And he jumps out and screams, and my head did that exact same thing. And I had to go to the chiropractor 3 times a week for a month. I'm old, guys. I'm very old.
I can't deal with the fact that like people that you've dated, like everybody's just so cruel to you about the fact that you're easily scared.
Everybody, it's not just the people I date, it's everybody at work too. Everybody
at work, you had a roommate, your dad has done this shit to you, like
my dad. Now, for all of those of you listening who haven't heard this story in a while, shut up. So I'm a beautiful young child, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old.
Gorgeous.
I had golden locks. They were same haircut I have now, actually.
Beautiful.
Bright blue eyes, maybe. I don't know.
Do you not remember what you looked like as a baby?
No, I was wearing those Hulk hands, maybe. Hulk hands. So I'm running around the house like a good child would be, and my dad calls me from downstairs and goes, "Christopher, love of my life, my favorite firstborn son, come downstairs. I want to show you something." So I'm looking down the steps because the basement's haunted. I'm young, you know, scary basement. He goes, "Where are you, buddy? I don't see you." And I'm like, "Where are you?" He's like, "Come on down. I got something to show you." So I'm like, "Okay, all right." So I start running down the steps because my dad's calling me, and I'm very excited. And I get about 4 steps from the bottom, and my dad reaches his hands back through the steps because these were empty steps, like they were hollow, like basement steps. My dad reaches his arms through the steps, grabs onto my ankles, and screams. And my soul left my body that day.
It's not yet returned.
I have been dead this whole time.
I bet you didn't know. Fun fact about Idiot's Guide to Horror is that it's co-hosted by a ghost.
Yeah.
So it's co-ghosted.
Oh.
Anyway, back to the exorcism. Yeah, her head spins the whole way around, and they're like, "Fuck this! Like, this is not fun. This isn't good for anyone." So they're continuing the exorcism, and then she like breaks out of her straps and then just levitates. And they're just, that happens for a long time.
Wait till you see this meme, guys, if you're watching on the internet.
They just stared at Reagan like, yeah, they just stared at Reagan. I don't think we can.
Okay, it's Hulk Hogan about to wrestling move Reagan.
Yeah. She's levitating. They're just staring at her. And then they start yelling, "The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you."
They list so many things that compels her. The blood of the martyrs compels her. I wish I had wrote them down when I was applying for jobs, so I did not feel worried.
Chris is on the hunt for jobs if anybody has one.
I have an interview after this. Did I tell you that?
Yes, you do. Okay.
I hope they don't mind giant hand pentagram tattoos. This was a mistake.
Was it? Anyway.
Well, I went in and I said, "Tattoo, please," and he's like, "Here you go."
So anyway, the power of Christ compels her, and she like slowly floats back down, and
they take a break.
They take a little break after Father Damien, like quickly as possible, like ties her back up.
Here's where my question comes in. Merlin goes to the bathroom and comes out with a fresh scarf.
Oh, he must have He must have 2 sashes. I didn't notice that.
I
noticed. I love that.
Merlin kicks her out. Oh.
Okay, so
this is where the fresh scarf comes in.
Yeah, they take a break. Merlin goes to the bathroom to take his pills, and then Damien goes back in to the
how did that happen?
I don't know. So Damien goes back into the room with Reagan, and it is now even colder. But he sees a vision of his mother laying in the hospital bed. And then Reagan starts speaking in Damien's mother's voice and saying, "Why you do this to me, Damien?" And then she starts like speaking Greek, and he's like, "Stop it! Stop it!" And
he wants to give her a medicine that she'll go into a coma. What's that about?
Well, no, they're saying, can't we give her anything? And it's like, we'll put her into a coma if we do. So they like want to give her medicine. Reagan does double axe handle Demi. Just she does one of these to the back of his head right before they take their break.
And Merlin has a fresh scarf now.
Yes, he does.
The other one's covered in peas.
Yeah, but her heart is slowing down essentially. And they're talking about like, because Damien is a psychiatrist, which is technically a medical doctor. He takes her, he listens to her heart with a stethoscope, and then he's like, she's dying. Like, she is dying. We got to like get through this. And, there's nothing we can do about it. So they get back into the exorcism. And he leaves the room because he gets really upset after Reagan has impersonated his mom. And Father Marin is like, "You're compromised. Get out of here. Go take a break. I'll finish this up alone." So he goes in to check on, Damien goes back in after he's collected himself to check on Father Marin and finds that he has died of a heart attack. And
or was very, very tired.
Yeah. He tries to like do like a CPR kind of thing, He just like beats on his chest.
I don't know if his doctorate is in like actual medicine.
Is this how you do CPR? Yes or no? Just bringing down both your hands like this? Is that it? Is that how it works? Okay. Anyway, so
this is when
he can't revive Marin, he attacks Reagan / the demon, and he like is like beating the shit and saying like, "Take me instead, like get out of her, take me instead." So then the demon takes over Karis, and like he starts to like succumb to it, and then he's like, "Nope, fuck this," and he sacrifices himself by jumping out the window and falls down a flight of stairs to his death.
Now here's where all my questions come from.
Okay.
I feel like demons are immortal.
Not in human form.
So the host dies, the demon dies with it.
I don't know if the demon dies with it, but the host has to leave that body.
But the host had already left Reagan's body. Wouldn't it just go into like Mama Cass or whoever was there?
Reagan was still alive, and it jumped into another alive person. Mama Cass. It jumped into another live person. That's the thing. I don't know. I'm not a demonologist, but I guess it makes sense to me. But
if we want to ask a demonologist, we need to ask the people who wrote the book from Paranormal Activities 3.
Yes.
Because they had a book, The Hottest Dad.
I still haven't gotten to that one because the second one was freaking me out so bad.
Third one's bomb.
I know. I really liked the third one when I saw it in the theater, but the men in the first two Paranormal Activity movies are booty hole. They are not good.
They did a role reversal in the third one.
Good. Oh, right. The mom sucks in the third one. I forgot about that.
And then the fourth one is just bad.
Yeah.
I couldn't even watch anymore for that one.
Yeah.
It was bad.
So anyway, that's the end of the exorcism. And then so the priest that he was counseling at the beginning of the movie about his crisis of faith just happens to be walking by.
What are the odds?
And sees Karis when he's dying. And he administers the last rites to Father Damien.
Which was a bad movie. Did you see that one?
The Last Rite, the one with Anthony Hopkins? Yeah, it was really bad. That was terrible. Anyway, Reagan's back to normal now.
Doesn't remember a goddamn thing.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks. She doesn't remember anything. She's back to normal. She's going back to LA. Her and Ellen Burstyn / other Chris. She doesn't remember anything about the possession, but when she sees Father Dyer's like clerical collar, she kisses him
on the cheek.
Yes, a very sweet little kid kiss on the cheek. And when the car's about to leave, Ellen Burstyn stops the car and gives Father Dyer a medallion that belonged to Karras.
That he found in Iraq in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. So then when they drive away, like, that priest, like, looks up at Reagan's window and the movie ends. And that's The Exorcist. That's the theatrical version. That's the version that's available on HBO Max right now.
I wonder what's on Tubi.
There's there's a version of the film called The Version You've Never Seen. And in the ending of this version, when Ellen Burstyn gives Father Damien's medallion to Dyer, Dyer places it back in her hand and suggests that she keep it. And when she and Reagan drive away, Dyer pauses at the top of the stone steps before walking away and coming across Kinderman, who narrowly missed Chris and Reagan's departure. Kinderman and Dyer begin to develop a friendship.
Well, who the hell is that?
Kinderman is, I don't know, to be honest. Who the fart is Kinderman?
I guess we'll never know.
Oh, this guy. The guy that was investigating the murder of Burke. Okay. So that's The Exorcist. The cop.
How does he know everything?
So every week on Idiot's Guide to Horror, we like to, I hate introducing this segment. It doesn't, we just pull reviews from Letterboxd, guys.
We used to pick other websites, but this one's on our homepage, so hey.
Okay. Do you want to read yours first? Because I need to pull mine back up.
All right. I'll go slow. This is Letterboxd Beach Street. Welcome to Letterboxd Beach Street, where we walk down the street, Letterboxd beat. Okay. So my review is from Karsten. Gave it 4 stars. And it says, priest gets absolutely slimed on. And the priest says, no, it can't be. And then Jack Black comes out of nowhere, and Jack Black says, welcome to the Kids' Choice Awards. Full movie. And that's my review. Well, not my review.
Oh, I wonder if this is what they... So when it's... I'm going to look into this because I have a feeling that this is like really referencing something. Somebody on Letterboxd just said your mother knits socks in hell, and I wonder if that's the Stranger in the Alps of...
Well, on one of the seasons of season 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race, that was your mother darn socks in hell was a line they had to say for one of the challenges.
Well, you know, like the infamous, like in The Big Lebowski, when you watch The Big Lebowski on TV, you know the scene where Donnie is, no, not Donnie, John Goodman's character's name. Why can't I remember it right now? Shit. John Goodman. But when he's like beating the shit out of the car with the golf club and he's like, yelling like, this is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass, Larry. On TV, they changed it to this is what happens when you meet a stranger in the Alps. So I'm just...
Really?
Yes.
I've never seen it on TV.
Yeah. So it's like an infamous, like most of the like Big Lebowski like festivals or whatever are called Strangers in the Alps and stuff like that. So I'm just wondering if your mother knits socks in hell is what they say.
God, I hope so. I hope so. There's nothing would make me happier.
So I am just gonna go with the Jonathan, 3.5 stars. Says didn't fart a single time during this movie.
Good for him. That's all I'm gonna say.
Also, I just want to say though that like a few people like 3 stars. That priest kind of cute though.
Oh my god.
4 stars. Hot priest blueprint.
Anything to further your own agenda.
I didn't make these reviews.
You're the one that said it at the beginning of this episode.
I did say it at the beginning of the episode, but I didn't know that these reviews existed.
To Steven Seagal.
I am not attracted to Steven Seagal. Ew.
What's the difference?
Ew.
I mean, Sylvester Stallone.
There's a big difference.
Yeah, one of them has the sharpest hair you've ever seen in your life.
Someone said, "What a picture!" My second favorite exorcism.
After what?
I don't know. I think that's funny. All right. So that's Letterboxd Beat Street. Yeah, it passes the Bechdel test for sure. Reagan.
Yeah, that cat horse.
Yeah, Reagan and her mother talk about a lot of things. Reagan and the babysitter talk about things. The mother and the babysitter talk about things. We're good. DuVernay test, big old fail. Not a single person of color in this entire movie. The most.
Unless you count Greek.
Yeah, that's it. But no, we don't. Do you want to do Idiot's Guide to Gore since I have hiccups? So no.
Guys, something is happening, and I do believe that Kara has become possessed. I'm gonna need somebody to find me a Bible.
Don't you dare! Don't you take this from me!
Somebody bring me a Bible.
I don't want to have to go to work tomorrow.
For the hiccups?
Yeah. They're already gone.
The Bible scared you, I'm sorry. Whenever I have the hiccups, Steve plugs my ears and makes me drink, plugs my ears and my nose and I have to drink water. I don't remember what he does, but he gets rid of them every single time.
I hold my breath and then swallow 3 times.
I'll remember that for next time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Idiot's Guide to Gore. I've given this movie a 3 out of 5. Mostly for the crucifix scene.
Yeah.
And the carotid artery scene.
Just like the implication of the crucifix scene is disgusting enough. Yeah, very upsetting.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like also the stuff that is like supposed to be like kind of gory and gross, like the puke, all the puke. It's like very obviously like green pea baby food.
Mm-hmm.
So
a little bit of oatmeal.
Yeah, it's like not that gross. It's kind of funny, actually.
Sure. Now, for all of those of you who saw this movie in theaters in the 70s, I'm sure it was terrifying. And I'm not being patronizing. I really believe it. It was terrifying.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of like being scared of this the first time I saw it was like my mom being like, "Oh no,
uh-huh.
Not that one."
It's just like, that I've seen so much shit.
Yeah, no, this is like it was like a nice, refreshing little ice cream sundae, honestly. And I love it. I think it's a really well done movie. I just don't. Unfortunately, it doesn't scare me anymore. I think that everybody's different though, and like you and I were talking before we started this, and like possession movies just don't really get us like that anymore.
Oh, I lied. Anything for Jackson.
Anything for Jackson was a different kind of possession though. That was like a different kind of possession movie, and like whoever that contortionist was should be famous. Should be famous.
If you haven't seen anything for Jackson, it's on Shudder. Maybe.
Yeah.
When I watched it last year, it was.
So this isn't to say that I don't like possession movies. I actually really like possession movies, and I tend to seek them out, but they just don't scare me.
They don't scare me. I watched a lot of them. Like last year, I know I watched anything for Jackson, which it was great. Honestly, I might watch it again tonight.
Mm-hmm. It was really good.
The Cleansing Hour, which was good.
Goodish.
That one. I found none of it funny, just terrifying. I like possession movies. They're just, I don't know. They're not like scary.
We're not
to
the
me.
Target audience because we don't. I don't know. We're not going to get into our theological.
Yeah, it's neither here nor there.
Don't worry about that. But okay, so I guess we could just get our keys and then we can get into it.
Give me the goddamn keys.
All right, so every week on Idiot's Guide to Horror, we like to imagine that we have been given the keys to remake or reboot the film that we are talking about. And then we discuss what we would keep and what we would throw out the second we got the chance. So, Chris, this week for The Exorcist, what was flawless for you?
The crab walk down the stairs. Where the hell was it?
It wasn't in this version.
Now, all of those of you at home who may not know me in real life, I do reference doing this every day. Ask my boyfriend. Everybody pisses me off. I keep telling him I'm going to crab walk backwards down the stairs. And then I watched this movie last night. And where the hell was it?
It was not in the theatrical cut. And I had, if you're just tuning in now, I had discussed why it wasn't in the theatrical cut.
Because we couldn't afford the kids. No. I really liked the whiskey voice.
Yeah. Oh my God. The demon voice is so good. It is so good. I honestly Linda Blair did such an incredible. She was so young,
12 years old.
Yeah, she did such an incredible job lip syncing with that demon voice. Like, there's like, it's not out of sync at all. Like, every beat, she's got it.
And there were some outside shots of Dimitri and the other one who their mouth lip syncs were off.
Yeah, no, their ADR was really bad, but like, she always did fucking bang up job.
Give her, next time you see Linda Blair, give her a high five or socially distanced thumbs up.
So what this movie this time reminded me of, because honestly, like, I hadn't seen this for like 15 years. It's been a really long time for me since I saw The Exorcist, and
I saw it in 2018.
I think I was like 15 or 16 years old the last time I saw it, but and I'm not that anymore now, but I
Is Rosemary's Baby possession?
No. But that's a different kind of like thing. I don't know. I think that when I first saw this movie, I think that I was completely influenced by like everything I had ever heard about it. I think that I was scared of it as a reaction to like outside stimuli. Rewatching it this time, like, was it that scary? No. But what I kept saying, and what I will keep saying, is that this movie is like an old house with beautiful bones that needs some updates. Like, the possession scenes are absolutely, like, the exorcism is fucking bonkers. It is insane. There is like, if that were made today, it would still be the scariest movie ever made. Hands down. Like, just the way that it's structured, the way that it's paced. I think I know I see your note for the things that we would throw out, but I actually like that this is like a full, complete, sturdy movie with a backstory that like shows us that like this priest is having a crisis of faith. He's being ostracized by the diocese for having a degree in psychiatry. He is like having all of these issues with guilt because he like technically killed his mother. Like,
He did not.
He did
I
not,
know that
but
he thinks he does.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's you know, like, I don't think that he actually killed his mother, but like, you know, we get all of this backstory, and then when it comes time for things to actually, like, we'll get like these little nuggets of what's going on with Reagan, and then like when we actually get into the room, I think we're fully unprepared at that point for what comes next. And I think that does make for a great horror movie, and especially a great horror movie ending. What I don't like, okay, well, I'll wait. Also, if I just want to put like one like fun thing, like, yes, I did love the crab walk that we don't get to see in this version. But I did, as I said before, I did love the head spinning the whole way around. I thought that was so still like so
It didn't look
good.
cheesy.
No, it did not look cheesy, and it goes like it doesn't cut away. You see everything, which was fucking ambitious at the time.
Also, Linda Blair's makeup was phenomenal.
So good.
Phenomenal.
Actually, Linda Blair in general just should have won an Oscar for this movie.
Yeah.
She killed it.
We should be nominating more horror movies for Oscars.
Thank you. I mean, like, we made strides with Get Out, but let's keep going.
Well, before Get Out, when was the last one? 2010 with Black Swan?
Yeah.
That's 10 years. And, like, we had 1973 with this movie, and then 1975 with Jaws, and then what?
Last year, La Llorona was...
garbage.
Not the Conjuring universe one. Not that one. The Mexican one. And
I didn't see that one.
It was really good. And it was nominated for Best International... Best foreign film. So we're
Parasite.
There's like that one scene in Parasite that's horror. That was like, but it is really effective though, even though it's like kind of a joke.
I was laughing.
I was laughing, but I was still like, ooh. Like,
Parasite's a horror movie.
I disagree. I think that it's like a dark comedy with like a heavily allegorical dark comedy with like some violence.
I don't
like Fargo.
Fargo could be a horror movie.
Just because of the wood chipper scene?
Okay, no, I mean, Parasite could be a horror movie based on the ending also. Maybe not the ending.
I was going to say that, and I'm like going to get like one single tear.
So from prior to birthday party, like the right before birthday party till birthday party, is like straight up horror movie.
Like from the time that they all get in the house when everybody's on vacation to the time that they make the discussion. We can't spoil Parasite. If you have
2.5 hours, please go watch Parasite. It's streaming on anything.
Listen, I know that we have a lot of listeners that don't believe in subtitles or something.
Pretend like it's English.
I have to tell you, I'll wait until the after party to tell this story. Remind me to tell you a story about somebody at the theater.
Was it when I went and saw Passion of the Christ and when I went to Chesapeake Christian Academy? The woman next to me had to read all the subtitles out loud for her friends.
No. No.
Oh, no. It wasn't that?
No, it wasn't that. I love that. No, I'm talking about like something that happened recently at the theater that I work at. Mm-hmm. So that's what was flawless for me. What would you throw out?
Unfortunately, the pacing needs a little work.
You and I are so like that's what we disagree on the most often is pacing.
I know.
I like a slow burn.
I love a slow burn. Do something. I also gave. What did you give Pyewacket? Like a 10?
I think I gave it 3.
I gave it a 4.5, maybe a 5. I like a slow burn, guys. I just want things to be happening during my slow burn. I don't need to be drowned in like everything that's happening.
My issue with Pyewacket, we can discuss this later. Like my only issues with Pyewacket were were that and like the ending was just a little like,
I love it.
What the fuck just happened? Like, but like I felt lost. Mm-hmm. But we can. The Pyewacket is a story for a different day.
Yeah, maybe we'll fucking cover it next week.
So for me, what I would change about this, I would update it a little bit. I also don't necessarily, I guess this is just my personal like hang-ups or whatever, but even if she's possessed by a demon, I don't even like the implication of a 12-year-old girl masturbating with a crucifix, masturbating at all. I don't think that we need to see it. I don't think that we like it.
But it was terrifying.
It was upsetting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's upsetting for sure. And I don't know. I feel like that's like all I've got is that it's just like a little corny now. Mm-hmm. It's just a little like, but it's just the effects. It's not the movie itself. It is just the effects.
Now we've just shit on this movie for 2 hours, but I want you to know that we are not shitting on this movie.
No, God, no. How could you? Nothing like we wouldn't be sitting here talking about horror movies if this movie didn't fucking exist.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Like this is.
Once again, like last week, this is the Beatles of movies.
Yes, it is. It is like the Beatles of horror movies. Or like it definitely is the precursor and the blueprint to like. I saw so much of like Hereditary. I saw so much of The Witch. I saw so much of First Reformed here. Like so much of First Reformed here. When you watch it. After you've been watching horror movies for a long time, you see that like there is a thread directly, like just running completely through all of these movies that like can link right back to The Exorcist and what William Friedkin did here.
Firing a gun behind people to scare them, to get their reactions on camera.
We here at Idiot's Guide to Horror never condone directors being huge asshats to try and get the shot that they want.
Or Darren Aronofsky in general.
Yeah, never, no. I recently sent Chris the list of how many people signed the Polanski petition, and we are
saddened.
Sad. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
Was Elijah Wood's name on there?
No.
Thank God.
No, God, I would have.
Tilda Swinton was on there,
I know.
Which was very upsetting.
I don't know how to deal with it. I really don't.
Darren Aronofsky, no shit.
Yeah, no shit. I think if Darren Aronofsky could, like, I think. I think that Darren Aronofsky wishes that he was possessed by the Polanski demon. Mm-hmm. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Is that Sharon Tate?
What was that?
Was that Sharon Tate, the
No.
Polanski demon?
No, poor Sharon Tate.
I know. It should have been you. I can't threaten Roman Polanski. But I'm just saying Sharon Tate probably would have never have raped a 13-year-old.
Probably not. Anyway, what do we rate The Exorcist?
Unfortunately, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. It is too slow for me. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm really sorry.
Spicy.
I thought about this for a long time. And I was going to give it a 4. But that opening scene drags on for 20 minutes.
It is really long. And, like, I remember the first time that I watched it, like, being 13 and being like, did we put in the right tape?
Yeah, what the fuck is going on?
Like, I was like, why are we in Iraq right now? Like, I don't know. Like,
it was like the beginning of Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Except there was no, what's that? Configuration, there was no puzzle box. We got a Pazuzu boner.
We did get a Pazuzu boner. I'm gonna give this movie a 4 out of 5. I think that, I don't know, I even feel like I have too much hubris, like, trying to give it a 4 out of 5. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I literally am a garbage person. What makes me think that I can give this
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it anyway. Fight me.
But yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5. I think that it is the fucking blueprint. I think that
this is horror.
Yeah, this is horror.
This is horror.
This was like,
it just hasn't aged well.
It's just the effects, man. And for you, the pacing. I like the pacing. But for you, it's the pacing as well.
Speaking of pacing, I know what I'm picking next week now.
Oh, okay.
You want to talk about pacing, honey?
Well, stick around for the after party if you're watching the live stream, and you will find out just 5 days before anybody else what we're choosing for the next movie. So what do we rate it? We already did that, and now we are doing Idiot's Guide to Non-Horror, because every week we just like to tell you something that we're into right now that isn't a horror movie or isn't horror related.
However, this week on Idiot's Guide to Non-Horror, we're also going to recommend a horror movie. If you have not seen Scream, go see it.
Okay, so you guys, you know me. Scream binder Kara.
Mm-hmm. Did you take it with you?
I did not take it with me, but I added to it. Scream binder Kara endorses Scream, the new Scream 2022.
Let me tell you an anecdote, you people at home. I went and saw this at my local theater because it's only playing in theaters. And at my showing, unlike Kara's showing, there was a before the credits thing where Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox, that goddess of a woman, came on to thank me for going to see this movie in theaters the way it was meant to be seen, and I cried and I never stopped.
I cried a lot.
I cried a lot too.
Yeah, I cried a lot, and I talked to somebody else who was a huge Wes Craven fan today, and they also said that they cried watching it a bunch of times.
Well, oh damn it!
You can't.
Nope, can't say a goddamn thing.
Can't say anything.
It was just the person who calls Tara at the beginning of the movie. That's spoiler. Like the name.
Oh, yeah.
That got me.
Oh, yeah, and then when they have the party, okay, we can't do this.
Please go see
Scream.
Because we are going to be covering it eventually, hopefully before it's out of theaters, and I want you to have seen it by then.
Going to see it 95 more times.
I'm going at least 5 more times because I don't have any money.
But just please trust that I think that if you have been listening to the podcast for a long time, or if you know me at all on a personal level, you know how much this franchise and this intellectual property in general mean a lot to me.
I bumped this over Scream 4. It now goes Scream 5, Scream 4, Scream 2, Scream 3.
I was secretly skeptical. And I had been, so here's the thing, I had been exposed to COVID, and I was technically at the end, because, the CDC is like, you can go outside and just slobber on people a little bit after 5 days.
Just tongue fuck them.
Yeah, that's just hand stuff.
Mm-hmm. Just hand stuff.
Yeah.
I'm making that meme.
Yes. But I could not handle. I had like a spectacularly shitty week. I was done. I was sick of it. And so my psycho ass put on 3 masks, 2 pairs of vinyl gloves, and then sat in the back of the theater by myself. And it was worth it.
I only put on 2 masks. No gloves.
My biggest fear is not even getting COVID. It's giving someone else COVID. My test turned out negative. We're all good. But I don't want to be a spreader. I do not want to be that asshole. Anyway.
I had it.
Also on Idiot's Guide to Non-Horror this week. So we are not immune to the hysteria over the When We Were Young Fest.
Even though we're not going to go.
I'm not going. I've read too many things. I'm scared. And also, like, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money for one day.
For one day to see bands play for like 15 minutes. Like
3 stages. So you want me to choose between Hawthorne Heights and the Used? And then Angels and Airwaves.
No.
Are they going to be there?
No, Angels and Airwaves isn't going to be there. Tom DeLonge is somewhere like being like a fucking government operative or something.
Well, the last time I saw Angels and Airwaves, I was right here. I was right here. I was up against them. I waited at the gate 2 hours before they let people in, and I was waiting there for Angels and Airwaves, and I got there, and I stayed there.
See, my thing is that, like, okay, so I was willing when My Chemical Romance announced their reunion tour because they were my favorite band when I was a teenager. I was ready and willing as an adult with a single adult income, no children, and not many responsibilities. I was about to throw down $350 just to see them live in a different city because they weren't coming to Pittsburgh.
Oh, when did you come to Pittsburgh? We're the city of industry.
I don't know, because when I was supposed to go see them for the Black Parade tour when I was 16, they ate bad shrimp in Cleveland and canceled.
Yeah, they were. Billy Talent was opening for them.
Billy Talent and Muse were opening for them.
Muse?
Yeah.
What did I spend that money on? Because I got my refund.
Yeah, we all got refunded.
What did I spend my money on? Billy Talent, I've never seen live, and it tortures me to this day. Muse is one of the best live shows you'll ever see in your entire life.
I've never seen. No. I agree, Dan. Warped Tour was better when it was only $40 because you had like 2 or 3 days to see as many bands as you wanted. They had longer sets.
And then you got to hug them all.
Yeah, you were spread out more. There was a lot more to do at Warped Tour, but like this scares me for a bunch of reasons. But anyway,
I hunted down Anthony Green at Warped Tour.
Really?
Yes, I did. And I found him.
That's at Warped Tour in 2004. Bowling for Soup let me use their cell phones to leave messages for the members of Simple Plan. Okay, that's a true story. You can corroborate it with my mother, and there were one person isn't my friend anymore because she went full Q. But I was wearing a Simple Plan shirt, and we went up to Bowling for Soup's tent, and I was all nervous, and I was getting my stuff signed, and the lead singer, Jarrett, looks at my shirt, and he goes, "They were supposed to be here," and I was like, "Yeah, I know, but they're recording their album." He was like, "Nah, fuck that. Do you want to call them and tell them that they should be here?" And I was like, "Yes, sir, please, sir." So they all just start pulling out their cell phones and handing us, like, I left a message on Pierre Bouvier's cell phone machine. You think
he still has it?
No. God, no.
I bet you he does.
I can imagine that they, like, soon as they got them, they were like, what the fuck? Like, but that was the kind of fun you could have at Warped Tour. You're not going to have that for all $235 of When We Were Young Fest. But what was really exciting about this is that everybody in our age group went fucking bananas.
I grabbed so much eyeliner. I was like, I ran to Claire's. They sell eyeliner?
I don't know.
I ran somewhere.
You ran to the nearest drugstore
to
get a Wet n Wild pencil.
Oh, God. And I put a black streak in my hair, and like I got my Converse All-Stars, and I sewed my jeans up really extra tight.
I just, you get one Wet n Wild pencil, and then you just take your eye and you just go like this. That's how we did it back in 2006.
Yeah. All of us. And the men.
Yeah, and the men indeed. But because of this, I guess that like my recommendation is just to like enjoy the music that you enjoyed when you were a teenager because it's fun as shit.
I've never felt younger, and I'm not kidding.
I literally drove the whole way here screaming along to Cartel, just fucking belting out Cartel.
I made a killer playlist, guys, and I've been listening to it for days. Oh, that's gross.
Do not. The Fabulous Killjoys is not a bad album.
Okay. Well, you know what's a great album?
What?
In defense of the genre, which I don't want any hate from. Say Anything, second album.
I love Say It. I love that album. I love Is a Real Boy, Was a Real Boy, In Defense of the Genre. And then what was the one that had like You Could Do Better?
Say Anything.
Oh, yeah.
Self-titled. It was that's my personal favorite. Yeah. My friend Carly, hi Carly, hates In Defense of the Genre.
I don't understand. I had such a crush on Max Bemis, man. I like, not to be dramatic, but like I would have done anything.
Me for Oliver Sykes from Bring Me the Horizon.
Also, like, okay, so yesterday, when I was a teenager, I used to, when I was getting ready for school, I would put on Fuse because they would have a block of like pop punk music videos in the morning. And so I would like put on my studded belt and then drag my mirror out into the living room because we didn't have TVs in our rooms. And then I would like sit there and like do my makeup and my hair while watching these videos all day. And that's what I did while I was working yesterday. I made a YouTube playlist of like pop punk songs and music videos and pretended that I was just watching Fuse while I was working.
And you were right. I Don't Care by Fall Out Boy slaps so hard.
Dude, Fall Out Boy's videos were like high budget productions. And so were My Chemical Romance. Like their videos were also fantastic, but like theirs were a little bit more serious, whereas Fall Out Boy's were like really funny. And the one for Thanks for the Memories has Kim Kardashian in it.
How?
she was so fucking pretty, dude. But like also, when I was young, I didn't understand why people found Pete Wentz attractive, and then yesterday I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'd sire a child with him.
He's a good-looking guy. He's pretty. I don't know if he still is. I haven't seen him for a long time, but
I wouldn't name my child what he named his child.
No.
Sorry, Ashley Simpson.
No. But anyway, that's my recommendation this week is to
be emo.
Be emo, or you know, if you didn't come up at the same time we did,
whatever you were.
Post-punk. Be like, just be who you were when you were a teenager.
Listen to the Killers right now.
Yeah. Be who you were when you were a teenager. If you aren't a teenager right now.
I mean, they're post-punk, but still.
Yeah.
I could put them on that playlist.
I meant more like Park It, stuff like that. But like, yeah, enjoy the music that you enjoyed when you were a teenager. It helps. It feels good.
Yeah, because I don't feel 45 at all right now. I feel like I'm 16.
I don't feel 62 either, which is how old I am. I woke up this morning, my hair was this purple, and
we were covered in tattoos.
I don't have one, so I gotta do this because mine aren't easily accessed because I thought that I would live my life in offices. I
just said, fuck it. Get me anywhere, the most visible place in the body. So I wouldn't do the face, so I said, hey, hand.
All right, it's about time to wrap this up. So you can email us questions, comments, and recommendations to idiotsguidetohorror@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at idiotsguidetohorror. You can follow us on, don't follow us on Twitter.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I wouldn't recommend doing that. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/horroridiots, which is one of the places that we live stream the podcast recording on Thursdays at 5:15 p.m. We also do that on our YouTube channel, Idiot's Guide to Horror. Please continue to rate our podcast on iTunes to help other horror movie fans find us, and tell a friend about us.
The power of Christ compels you to comment, rate, and subscribe, or whatever.
That works.
Like, rate, share it to a friend.
That works for me. If you are still here during the live stream, stick around for the after party. I'm excited to see what movie Chris has chosen next for next week. And if you are not here for the after party and you are enjoying us on an audio device, it's a lovely day for an exorcism.
Oh yeah, never waste your pain.
Oh, you brought it back.
I love that movie. I just rewatched it.
All right, good night.
Bye.
Bye. All right, we stopped recording. I don't know if there's anybody still here. It doesn't look like it.
Let's give it 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was thinking It Follows. What do you think?
That sounds great to me. That's good. That like evens out the
We did 2 older movies. I mean, one of them older being 1999, which is not old. Like 2 or 3 years ago. That's old. What else did I look up? Frozen, Marble Hornets, which they made a documentary about Marble Hornets.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's
it's like a fake. Oh, yeah. It's like a mockumentary.
It's like a mockumentary.
So yeah, next week It Follows. That's perfect.
Oh, so good.
I am on board, man. I kind of wish that we had stuck with Hostel this week.
We can do Hostel next week.
No, we're gonna do It Follows next week.
I mean, we can do It Follows whenever. It's on Netflix.
But for how long though? I don't trust it.
It's been on for a while.
Yeah, so I think maybe we should do it now. All right, so I am. I don't know. I don't know what I was saying, but guys.
Well, let me check. Okay, 1 second before I settle on It Follows.
Okay.
Baby girl, I'm a blur. I want to do Uzumaki, but we can't do Uzumaki.
At a certain point, we have to say fuck it and just start doing it.
I know.
Because
why don't we start right now and say fuck it? We're doing Raw.
I'm here for it.
Okay, guys. Here's your choice. You're watching a French movie, whether you like it or not.
And it's a good one.
One of the best.
It's fantastic, and I can't wait to sink my teeth into it.
And I'm going home now. Goodbye, everybody. That guy's so hot, though.
The gay guy in Raw.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pretty good-looking guy.
I think with the French doesn't make sense.
I don't know if I do. I was just thinking about this. I don't have a type.
I do, but you'll never believe what it is. Middle Eastern.
Oh.
You'll never believe it because like my boyfriend's very white. It's over the last 2.
Do I want to do this? It's a little late.
9:35 at night.
I know.
9:35 at night.
The story about
the
okay, so this was from a couple of weeks ago when we were still showing our staff pics and we were showing Memories of Murder. Hi, yes, I missed you. I missed you, sir. We were showing Memories of Murder, which is Bong Joon-ho's like earlier movie, and this guy and this girl come in, and we have, we're attached to that beer store, and they're like, "Oh, you sell beer here?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Do you sell cocktails?" And I was like, "No, this craft beer." And she was like, "Hard liquor?" And I was like, "No, just beer."
The Oak sells hard liquor.
Yeah, but we do not. Then this guy looks at our posters, and I should probably tell this story when we're no longer on air.
Well, everybody, I have to go dig my trash cans out of 4 feet of snow, which I looked at when I let clearance out. I dig this trash can around the house. I have to drag it through the house because there's no way I'm getting around my house to dig a trash can out.
Your parking lot is actually like someone's going to die.
Yeah.
Someone's going.
And I hope it's not you when you leave.
I hope it's not me too, but it very well might be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, since there's nobody here, I guess we can just shut this down.
Well, guys, it's been swell. It's been a pleasure. It's been an honor.
It's been an honor.
I'm going to cry. I can't ever say that again. Go see Scream.
Go see Scream.
Well, you're beat.
Bye.